Charlie Parsons for the Stomping Ground, powered by Well Hydrate and available on DAZN. Brother, I've waited a minute for this post-fight. Mr. Charlie Edwards, back with a bang. I say back with a bang, it's the first time you've been able to sort of sell out with a real teeth you can get a real fight you can get your teeth into. Initial reaction, EBU belt around your...
Mate, I'm ecstatic, mate, I really am. But first and foremost I want to say a little happy birthday to this #1 fan, Fred. He got the fight gloves. You enjoyed that? Neil, #1 fan, always comes to my fights. But yeah, I'm just over the moon, mate. It puts me one step closer to where I want to be. And yeah, I'm just lucky and blessed, man. I've got the opportunity back, I got the light back. I've been wanting it for so many years, and it's been a tough time to get through, but we're here and we look forward now. We're on the trajectory to great things. I'm going to have a phone call with Nissa and Keller over the next few days, see what's up. You said what he said. About going to Japan. He's got good connections with Mr. Honda. I'm high.
Yeah, Keller just said that to me now.
Yeah, I'm very high with the IBF and WBC, so I'm in good positions, and I don't know if I'll get pushed up in the other organisations as well. Now I'm European champion, I've got my name. Do you know what I mean? So it kind of makes sense to put on a big show with a Westerner going over. So that's going to be one option, and the other option is, of course, Paul Butler, two-time world champion.
And there's more than just...
There's more than that, you know.
That's personal,
and that's probably why it won't happen. And if it doesn't happen, if I don't get a world title shot next, then I want to fight my mandatory. And if that mandatory fight does not happen, you know, it's not Paul Butler. Paul Butler's a proper fighter, bearing in mind. Do you know what I mean? He is a proper fighter who will fight anyone. It will be because of his manager. And you can mark my words on that. He won't let him fight me because he won't want everything to come out the woodwork. But it is what it is. I'm ready for each and every one. I'm a real champion. I want to fight my mandatories, always have done, always want to be in big fights. Yeah, like I said, Thomas was a good fighter tonight. He put a tricky performance in, but we all know he's a tricky operator, and he's on a roll. He's been on a roll and been on top form lately, being European champion, going away to other countries and fighting. So I won comfortably. I'll move on from here. I've had 2 back-to-back southpaw fights. There's 3 world champions over in Japan at southpaws, so we're on the right route to being a southpaw slayer.
Look, I remember speaking to you, and you were obviously off the back of the Joe Gallagher split, and it was just about the time that you'd linked up with the main man here.
The main man. Come on, Swift. I want to say, this man has brought me back to life. This has. When I was in the dark, on the floor, on my knees, thinking I was never going to get this back, God brought this man into my life, and he saved my career.
And you guys are really bonded, right, between the two of you?
Really bonded. He's like a brother to me. Real like a brother to me, and he's we've got a brotherhood where we really care for each other. He checks in on me all the time. He gives me advice. He's a man of God and brought me closer to God and my faith. So he's making me a powerful fighter, and I just got to say thank you to this man.
Welcome, mate. Listen, for me, I see what he puts into boxing. I see how professional he is. I've never met anyone who comes in the gym and prepares the way he prepares for every session. Goes through a rigorous warm-up every time. He's doing all his drills. He's so on it. He deserves everything from the sport. So when you see someone who puts so much in, you want them to get the best out of it. And if I can help him in any way, shape or form, then I will.
Sky's the limit. An ideal next fight for you?
Yeah, listen, honestly, I just think, I've said this before, I think all belts, all the world titles are in Japan. I'd put him in with any limit. I do think Nakatani's the standout, but I've heard through the whole week he's looking on being lined up for a new race. So if he moves on, any of the other trainers say, I think they're all there for the take. I think they're all, you know, similar, have similar levels. Do you know what I mean? So I'd take any of them. If he's going to defend his title to his man to next, then so be it. If any opportunity comes about for a final eliminator or a world title shot, then again, we'll take it. There's no one in the bantamweight division I wouldn't put him in with, so I'm confident enough.
Just quickly on the Paul Butler fight, I don't want to talk politics and everything, but right now in British boxing we need these domestic fights that we can get our teeth into. That's something that we look at tonight. York Hall's packed to the rafters. We need a fight like that. British boxing, that's the sort of thing it thrives off at the minute.
National TV as well.
Yeah.
Come on,
especially the amount of viewers you get on. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it will bring it alive. There's a backstory. It will be personal. The build-up will be great. It will be a big fight. Let's be real, you know. And all due respect to him, he's a 2-time bantamweight champion, you know. And I'm a former WBC champion. And I'm now European and going on to look to fight for a world title. But I want entertaining fights. I want to be in big time boxing. I see all these fighters around me that are getting these big fights, being on these rid of season cards and stuff, and that's one day something that I would love to do, you know. With Keller and Issatalin and Wasserman, it's all possible. Like, they work with every promoter, so it's all about making these big fights, you know. Boxing is a sport that everyone loves. It buzzes when it's British versus British, especially at world level operators. And Paul Butler, I'm not going to disrespect him and call him shit and this and that, because he's a good fighter in his own right. But the personalised want of that fight is because I was kept in the dark for so long. I was managed by the same manager as him, Joe Gallagher, and in my honest opinion, I was kept out in the dark and I weren't getting my opportunities and I was getting lied to. So for me to go for them, that's another growth journey for me to be on. Just like this one this week with my brother, I had to battle demons, battle my mind, grow in ways that I probably would have hid from a few years ago, because I didn't want all this like headspace and people's opinions and stuff. But this is helping me develop as a man and a character, and that's why I want to go for Paul Butler and Joe Gallagher.
Swifty, your thoughts on a fight?
Yeah,
like
no,
that?
I think, listen, what he's saying about the big domestic ones, I do think at the moment the sport's going through a massive transition in terms of, you know, Saudi Arabia's come in and they're throwing money around, and it's taking a lot of the big fights over there. It's amazing for boxing fans because the fights that was never happening are now happening. You've got Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren working with each other and stuff, and all the big fights are happening. But for the sort of domestic boxing, a lot of the shows are going on over there now, so we're not seeing really the big domestic fights
main events, right?
On the shows at home. So it is missing. It is what the sport's missing. So if we can get a domestic one and everyone can get behind it and give, you know, the local fans something to go for, then why not?
And Paul, please don't do a Khalid Yafai on me. You know, he was the one that got away. He retired, didn't want to fight me because he knew what time it was. I believe you're a true champion and a true fighter who wants to fight. So please, let's give the British fans a proper fight now.
Charlie, just lastly from me, this fight was billed as family feud.
Yeah.
I was always so interested as to like everything going into it. I don't know if you'll remember, but we done an Instagram live probably about 9 to 10 months ago, and the first time the fight was spoke about was actually on that Instagram live.
Yeah, it was.
Finally happened.
Things materialised, eh?
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
You would have had your 10-week camp, there was a lot more going into it, but it's weird, right? That's your brother, but there's always going to be that chip. How did that all play out, and how did you find it on fight week? Like, even the little bits you're doing together, you can see the competitiveness, right?
Listen, we're always going to be competitive, like, that's just the nature we are. I think if you've got a brother yourself, you'll realise and understand that that is kind of what happens anyway, but we're doing it in the limelight, which is a bit crazy. But listen, I love my brother dearly, I know he loves me. Like I said, I've got to be grateful. Although we was in competition tonight, it was healthy competition. We didn't fall out, we didn't get nasty, and at the end of the day, it was a good opportunity for his fighter, and it was a good opportunity for his brother. So from the business mind and from the perspective of, I want my fighter to get the most paid, I want my brother to get paid, and an opportunity if you beat him, great.
How did you feel personally on fight week, out of curiosity?
I felt cool, calm and collective, you know, like my brother's my brother, it's nothing new, you know. When I done the like funny call out video, which was actually a joke to start with, what got way out of hand and Sonny bit on it, but
that don't sound about Sonny.
No, that don't sound like Sonny, does it? Like, when I was doing it, you could see my big turkey teeth smiling, do you know what I mean? But yeah, he bit on it and it was back and forth, then the media blew it out of control, and then I kind of just thought, fuck it, I'll run with it, do you know what I mean? I was in the dark, I didn't have nothing on, so it brought my name back to the lights, and then I snowballed it into this, and then it's come into this. But like, I love him dearly, man, and I know he loves me. We're always going to be chalk and cheese, like I think everyone can see that. But we've got a long journey in boxing, you know. Who knows what the future holds? I'm managing fighters. Well, I'm not managing fighters as of yet. I'm managing myself, but my journey will develop into managing fighters. He's already managing fighters. Who knows? We might go down the promoters route later on and be like Anissa and Keller Sowland, you know. And we might get our own fighters and fight them against each other. There's endless options for us in the sport of boxing. We both speak well, and people seem to take a liking of us, and especially this week, as the brotherly love showed out there in public, and it weren't too nasty, but there was still a bit of needle, but there was still banter. I think people took a liking to it, so I think it's done well.
Well, Charlie Edwards and Anu,
Thank
I know
you,
how
mate.
much it's all mean to you.
Oh, and do you know what? lovely Palm Angels. You've been to play, you have.
No, I actually haven't. Well, I don't even like the Palm
world
Angels
now.
no more.
Private jets a lot, Living the life chart.
Right, no more. Charlie Evans, congratulations.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you, brother. All the best.